So apparently I'm telling you how to design an original character today. Righto, this shouldn't take too long. First thing you have to do, figure out what you want to use your character for. A fanfiction, casual or hardcore roleplay, or maybe you just want to make it for the sake of having your own pony persona. It helps to know what you're going to do with it before you create it and characterize it. I'll say it now, most of what I'll be talking about here is aimed at characters for roleplay, though for the most part it will be relevant to fanfiction OCs as well. Next, gotta bang out a basic design. If you're decent enough fanartist to be able to make shapes look like stuff, this shouldn't be too difficult. If your artistic expertise doesn't stretch past Dragon Ball Z stick figures, find a friend who can art. Don't have friends? The pony creators on DeviantArt and Facebook are pretty nifty tools for working out a basic design for your little monstrous pony. Be creative, but don't get too creative. You're designing a pony, not a science experiment. No unique gradients, no horns, no vampire teeth, no snake eyes, no dragon wings. Why? Because you're making a pony, not some kind of medical marvel. Particularly in roleplay, other people frown upon someone trying to make their pony look cool and different. It is possible to have a likable character without sticking dragonfly wings on it and giving it what I dub the angsty Sasuke backstory. Mummy and Daddy died, or I had to kill them, and my best friend, or even better, what I like to call the amnesia cheat. I can't remember anything up until however many months ago because amnesia, so I'm going to use that as an excuse to come up with some of the most ridiculous character traits and special talents I can. Of course, I am willing to make an exception for those mutant-looking characters if they suit the RP, but even then, I'm only willing to accept the obscure colouring, maybe some small horns if we're getting into the grim dark side. Before I move on, I just want to put this out there, just a nitpick of mine when it comes to the mane and certain colours. Black can look really nice on a pony if used correctly, but for some reason, once again, this is me nitpicking, for some reason I can't stand seeing black being used in a mane with another excessively fluorescent colour like bright green, blue, red, yellow, purple, so on and so forth. And for those who use the pony creator on DeviantArt, please try your best not to use Vinyl Scratch's mane. That's this one. 90% of the OCs I see being pumped out have this mane, and it's only going to end up as a mark against your originality and individuality in the long run. Moving on. 3 races to choose from: Earth, Unicorn, and Pegasus. Alicorn is not an option. It was never an option, and if you want to avoid being told off, don't even think about making one. Well, I guess I can go back to my if it suits the RP thing again. I've done a few with some tolerable alicorns. Of course, they were only tolerable because the characters they played weren't the kind that god mode all over the place. That or the RP entails every character being literally a god, which detracts from how special they really are anyway. I'm sure I've missed a few points. I'm sure I'll miss a few points in this next topic. Characterizing your character. You'll want something that catches interest, but in a good way. Something unique, but also entirely possible in the canon MLP universe. For example, don't create a Pegasus pony that can cast magic when they're at some kind of emotional high point. Pegasus ponies can't use magic, nor can Earth ponies. Ever. Now, watch in awe as I simultaneously give you a good example of an OC and stroke my own massive ego. This is Azure Arc. He is my OC, and he is a shining example of most of the elements that make up a good original character. He's 90% original, that is to say, I designed him myself without the help of a pony creator, I designed his cutie mark myself, and his special talent is something I've never seen done before, while also being something that could theoretically exist in canon. He uses electrical elemental magic to play music on Tesla coils. What are Tesla coils? Google it, silly. As far as his character goes, he's nothing overly special, at least not in casual RP where this kind of thing matters. He has no special powers that set him apart from the rest. Sure, he uses electrical magic, but there's no saying it's impossible for canon characters to do so as well. He has no silly relationships with canon characters, he isn't better at any of the main 6's special talents, and he isn't some cheap emo lone wolf of the dark past clone. The only thing about him that isn't so original I didn't pick up on for a couple of weeks, and that's his first name, Azure. Ever since I made him, I've been seeing Azure all over the place. Easy fix though, I just refer to him as Arc most of the time. And now, to flip it around and give you an example that I have created for the sole purpose of compiling the most flaws I can think of in a character. We'll start with the looks. See this right here? Wings and a horn? An alicorn OC. That's strike 1. Strike 2 is the type of wings. Bat wings. It's a pony, and that's all it is. That's all it ever should be. No hybrids here. Strike 3 is the unusual coloration of the coat. Name one pony in the show that has this kind of colour scheme. Your OC should be one solid colour, unless of course your OC is a zebra, and even then, zebras have black and white stripes. No getting creative with that. It isn't up for debate at all. Horns, teeth, eyes. Strikes 4, 5, and 6 right there. Keep the ponies, ponies. Okay? Okay. Now to the characterization. Let me churn out a quick backstory for you. I'll even read it at a normal pace. Lord Baron von Evil Satan is the long-lost second cousin of Luna's estranged half-brother, Gavin, yes, and he was born with a strange, unexplained mutation that gave him bat wings instead of regular alicorn wings. And all of these weird colours on his coat, also claws and carnivore teeth. He often scares others with his eerie reptilian eyes. Somehow this makes him grow up all dark and evilish and stuff. A fit of rage caused by stubbing his hoof on a slightly out-of-place chair caused him to brutally murder his entire family. And now he walks the planet in pain and regret, but unable to cleanse the darkness in his heart, he refuses to accept any forms of kindness or friendship for fear that he will kill again. But really, he's a nice guy, you'd like him. Also, he was, abused as a kid or something. Anyways, eventually he met a mare that was able to help him clear the darkness from his heart, named Fluttershy. They had 3 children together and are currently second in line to claim the throne, as he is the smartest, most powerful creature in Equestria, able to take on both the royal sisters and win without breaking a sweat. Okay, let's check the score so far. An alicorn. Related to a canon character. Overly dramatic and depressing background. Pointless mutations. Secretly just wants to have friends and be loved. Well, that's not so much as a mistake as it is just a massive cliche, and I would like to buzz that, but it isn't inherently wrong, just overdone like the amnesia thing. A relationship with a main character. Better at doing something a main character specializes in. And the score is 6 massive no-nos when creating an original character. About time I wrap this up, I think, but before I do, I just want to clarify once again that most of these points I'm making are for characters for roleplay. If the character was just for your own enjoyment, it wouldn't matter so much, but when interacting with others, it's always far more enjoyable when they enjoy your character as much as you do, if not more. I'm Jack, and this was one gosh darn long worthless opinion.